Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video. Welcome back to Colorado. Just flew in from Europe and man did I arrive to a total disaster. I'm going to tell you everything that's going on with our Tesla Model 3 Performance. I think where we left off talking about this particular car that we own was that I was selling it. And I've decided to keep it. We're going to run it as a high mileage experiment, but it needs a little TLC before we get it up in the miles. So, yep, wait till you see how crazy this thing is broken because it's not good. This is my 2019 Tesla Model 3 Performance, and it has been my daily driver for the last few years. I haven't been driving it as much with the arrival of the Rivian R1T and now the Model S Plaid, but this is really going to become, okay, someone's got to go on a road trip, take the Model 3 type of car. And so basically, we're going to go try and drive it as much as we can over the next many years. At this point, I had to make the determination, do I sell it or do I keep it? And I made the determination months ago to sell it. And I put in an offer to driveway.com, which I think is a totally reputable service and everything. I kind of messed up the paperwork because I filled it out in the wrong ink color. Welcome to being an idiot. And they said, okay, well, we can't do that. We can redo the paperwork. While this was going on, we were in the Winnebago Revel over here on a road trip up to Alaska. And yeah, just couldn't find the FedEx locations or UPS locations to coordinate our timing. And I said, screw it. We'll just keep the Model 3. This is too much effort. And then it was like, okay, well, if we decide to keep the Model 3, we need to fix some things. And so made the decision to keep it. Now we need to get this thing back in running condition. Because right now I would say it's not necessarily in running condition. We'll start cosmetically. The windshield is totally cracked. Not new news for anyone. I think I've said for 6 months we need to put a new windshield on this. We haven't done it. Need to do this. The roof panel here is cracked as well. So I need to order 2 new pieces of glass for this particular car. One front, one up top. In terms of cosmetically on the rest, it's all pretty fine. We have paint protection film on the front. That's all held up relatively well. It's not the most beautiful job, but it's there just as a sacrificial layer to take rock chips and everything like that. So that's done a fairly okay job. The wheels and tires are not what we normally run on this car. These are the 20-inch Tesla Track Pack wheels, or they came from the referral program. The reason I threw these on was because it was the only stock set that wasn't destroyed from this car. For me to sell it back to driveway.com. I had the original 20-inch wheels that came on it. 2 were cracked, one's bent, and then one was actually fine. And I said, okay, well, we'll just throw these wheels on it. And everyone freaked out that we were going to sell it on these wheels. I don't know. Sorry. It's just what happens. This wheel is on a different tire because we had a flat tire once running these wheels and tires, and they didn't have the correct size in stock. So we kind of stretched this Nankang on there, but again, this is not the wheel and tire set we intended to run on the car. We have Martian MW03 wheels that we run on this. We have 2 sizes. We have a set of 18s and 19s, one for summer and winter. Around the back, the spoiler's lifting a little bit, and yeah, I mean, just minor little things. The charge port's a little bit wonky because I crashed into it. We did a whole 100,000 mile update on this car, looking at degradation, its performance, how well it's held up, what we've done with it, and it's only lost about 10% battery capacity after 100,000 miles. This thing, I think, has just crossed 110, or near as makes no difference, and yeah, battery's still doing pretty fine. Couple issues though. We can't get the car to level 2 charge for more than a few minutes at a time. And I don't know if it's a charge port issue, a charger issue at our home. But when I got back from Germany, I plugged in the car at home and Alyssa's like, the thing doesn't charge. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Charge is fine. You look at the app a minute later and it says charging stopped. So it starts and then bricks itself. I then took the car to a supercharger just to make sure we could charge it, and that worked fine. So at least we can get energy in the car, no issues. I'm thinking either it's our charging units, which have no issue charging the Plaid or any other car. We can try it on some different ones, so that's something we'll work on. Or it's the onboard charger that's starting to wig out a little bit. Or it's related to the massive problem that we have, which is the, I'm guessing, radiator fan the cooling fan for the whole drive system. I'm going to play you some clips here in a second that will just make you cringe. I don't know. I thought originally it was suspension, wheel related, perhaps some sort of control arm, but again, that really only happens when you're stationary. This does have some suspension issues, but whenever the car requires a cooling load on it, that means when the AC compressor's on and the fans kick on, I'm pretty certain that the radiator fan comes off balance when you move the car around with some G-forces, and then the fan is hitting into the shroud. Take a listen to how bad this sounds. It's so loud. Every time you turn left in the Model 3, or right, but if you go straight, fine. Something is just grinding itself.
And you really thought it was okay?
I have no idea what that is.
I
It
am.
sounds like it's destroying itself.
I know. It's terrible.
I guess we could just keep grinding until something breaks.
I don't know. That's a good
Still
idea.
makes full power. This car's been through a lot, hasn't it?
It's been through more than a lot, and it's gonna go through worse.
Yep. Well, just add it to the list. Truly, like, not good. And that just started up, what, 2 weeks ago, Alyssa?
Yeah.
Yeah, roughly 2 weeks ago, maybe a little bit less. And we don't know how that happened. Did someone crash the front of it at all? Not that we know of.
Literally just took it out of the driveway.
Just took it out of the driveway and that happened. So we're not sure how that happened, but the car's got 110,000 miles on it. That one I may take to Tesla to get serviced just because they know how to do all the, cooling components, and I really don't want to mess with that. So I may just bring it to them and ask them to fix that noise, because you really can't drive the car. Anytime after you supercharge it, it tries to cool down the battery pack. Anytime you kick on the air conditioning, this crazy sound kicks on, and it's really, really bad. I know it's cooling fan related because I'm going to play you this clip now that shows it happening with the car stationary. So there you go. It's definitely cooling system related, and that's the major problem of this car. That's really stopping us from driving it at the moment. But we have some other issues as well. Rear suspension's pretty fine on this car, but dampers get worn out after 100,000 miles. It's not driving as, amazing as it once did. And there's definitely some clunking action going on over here where I can feel that's a little bit of compliance in the front suspension, and sometimes it feels totally fine. Sometimes it feels like the wheel's gonna fall off. So I said, screw it. We are just going to put an entirely new suspension package on this car. So join me inside, because this is a significant portion of the car's value going into suspension, where we have all of these boxes over here that will be, forgive the mess in here. This is all Mountain Pass performance parts for our Tesla Model 3 Performance. One of these boxes are the big brakes for the Model S Plaid. We're doing front and rear giant steel brakes. So we've been through the conversation. I'm not a huge carbon ceramic fan for what we're gonna be doing with the Plaid. So we're doing front and rear steel brakes with a brake brace. The Model 3 is getting Mountain Pass's full comfort coilover setup because, again, it's a road tripper. We want it to be squishy. But we're also putting their lift kit on it, which I think is just gonna be freaking awesome. So we are going to be lifting the Model 3. I don't know, we have adjustability in height with the coilovers, and then we'll have a block to just raise up the car another couple inches. So we're gonna go as high as we can without sort of stretching the half shafts out, and that the suspension geometry can still handle the abuse loads we're gonna throw at it. And then starts the putting the miles on. We're gonna get some nice chunky overlanding tires for it. We'll probably run them on the 18-inch Martian wheels, small wheel, big tire. Maybe we'll throw some mud flaps on it, perhaps some, I don't know, wider fenders. I don't know if people even make this modification yet. But then we hit the dirt roads and we start sliding this thing around in dirt and snow and mud, and yeah, having some fun with it out in the loose stuff. So a little bit of a rally spec Model 3 coming to you. The reason we chose the comfort coilovers was for compliance. This, we could have chosen to go two ways. We could have chosen track car or sort of rally car. And the Model S Plaid is just the car I'm going to take to the track if we do stuff like that. Again, changing out the entire braking system with fluid and everything else. And so this really was like, okay, well, we just need to put miles on this car. We want it to be comfortable. We kind of want to torture test the drivetrain and the battery pack a little bit, which is held up wonderfully. The motors still are brand new, healthy feeling. The battery pack's doing great. It's just that charging issue, which we need to look into a little bit more. And so we decided, yeah, rally car Model 3, why not? Let's do it. So there you go. That's what's to come. And just a quick little update on the Model 3 performance. I'll have updates on the other cars as well now that I'm back in the US. I'll be back in Europe in about a week and a half's time. So we have a lot of stuff to do and get sorted here. For example, I'm just about to head out in the Rivian R1T, go load up our car hauler trailer and go pick up the Range Rover. I have a classic Range Rover. And some of these updates will be on my personal channel, Kyle Connor, because we don't need out-of-spec reviews to turn into, here's what's going on with Kyle's cars. So I'll do more updates on my cars on my personal channel, such as everything that's wrong with my Range Rover, because it's just crazy, just crazy. And yeah, gonna go pick it up at the Rivian. The Model 3 is gonna go under the knife pretty soon. We'll keep you updated as to the progress. We'll make a video about upgrading the suspension and everything, letting you know how it goes, the install process and how it drives. And we'll see you on the next video soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.